Welcome to this sacred episode and the sacred people here who are listening. We're all sacred in our own way. You know, that word sacred gets thrown around a lot. A lot of people think it's, hey, when you say sacred, it's very, very, untouchable. And that's very true. You know, everyone in here is untouchable in the ways that they are good within themselves. But the thing is with the word sacred is it's thrown around a little too much. And what I mean by that is again, welcome to everybody who is here to this episode. I'm glad we are here, episode 163. But sacredness and sacred. Lots of people throw this word around, especially, you go to a beading workshop. People were saying, hey, this is sacred. And it is. It very much is. Beading in your own way and your traditional regalia and all that is sacred. But, if we're going to throw around the word sacred all the time and being friends and, we're only going to do that this way because this is the way it should be done, I believe there should be challenges within that. And challenges within that, I mean, when somebody is trying to gatekeep and withhold information for the betterness of themselves in that particular craft or in that particular tradition, I think that's where the line gets crossed a little bit. Because we're in 2024 now. There's a lot of things that have been revived in the masses for Native country and things that people do. And what I mean by people are starting to pick their tradition back up and it's more accessible to them, which I think is a beautiful thing. And there is a right way to do things and there is also a wrong way to do things. I'm not saying that every way is right and everybody has a right to just do their own thing, because there is ways that, tradition should be played or in order. But there also is, I feel like, if somebody's getting into it and they don't really necessarily know what they're doing, it's not a time to put those people down, because they're putting themselves out there in some way or some form. And, I think I used to be really worried about that, to be honest with you. And, growing up, I grew up out in Tulalip, and there would be things that thought I wasn't supposed to do. Like, oh, that's not for me. I'm not Native enough for that. I kept using that line. I don't know if anybody is comfortable with sharing that about themselves yet, or they're coming to that point in their life. But there was a lot of points in my life where I'm like, I'm not native enough to do that. And that's the truth. And I don't want to, I'm not saying this for pity. I don't need the comments saying, oh, you are, and you really are, you deserve, that's not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying when I was young, there was times where I thought that. Because I know there may be people now. I'm still, 26 now? No, 26 or 27. I was born in 97, so you can go look at the dates. I believe it's 27, though. I still, to this day, I'm like, I don't know if that's for me. I was actually on for a walk, and I saw this cedar tree out here in Seattle. And I was like, I can just take the cedar off that. And that was like a natural thought. Hit me. Hey, I could do that. And before, I didn't take the cedar, by the way, but prior to that, when I was 14, 15, I was like, I want to do those things, but I don't know the right way, and I don't know the right person. I don't want to ask because I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. And that's a big thing. No one wants to know. No one wants to be the person they don't know what they're doing. It's embarrassing sometimes. But I'm here to tell you that it's not always embarrassing, because I'll share a story my Uncle Juju told me, and I wouldn't be sharing this without his permission if I didn't know he wouldn't be okay with it. But I've shared this story many times here on the pod, and when I was actually at his house, he made breakfast for us, and he was drawing this huge piece of art on the table, and they have a pretty big dining room table. And I was walking in and I saw he was working on something that looked like formline, and I was like, man, wish I could do that. And he said, you can. And he put a piece of paper and a piece of pen right there next to him, and he said, you just go for it, just do it. He probably said a different word. I don't really remember, but it was a while ago. And I didn't sit there and draw with him, but I do now know what he meant by that. And I kind of was like, no, I can't pick it up right away. And eventually I started drawing, and now I like where my form line art is going. I like how it's evolving and I'm learning more. But that was like the day I remember saying, I want to do that. And I was young. And that's when you should just listen to yourself and do the things that you wanted to do. Some people, I don't know how to dance. I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to do this and that and this. And it's okay not to know those things too. I want to reiterate that too. You may be a native person out there in the city, maybe reconnecting. You may also be a person who has been on the res the whole entire life. Maybe you have a light complexion, or your mom isn't native and your dad is, or your dad isn't and your mom is. And, I thought about those things. I was like, oh, you got to have two native parents to do this type of thing. But you don't. You really don't. And I want to just make sure everyone out there knows that don't let yourself be gatekept by something, especially when it comes to something like that. And I'll jump off the soapbox there, because it's that time where I tell you guys those type of things, but it's who I am and what I want to tell you. And I think it's real. I think there's a real truth in that. And there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of gifts that aren't even opening them. So imagine you go to your birthday. A lot of people have birthdays. They get birthday gifts for Christmas or whatever you want to call it. You get a gift and it's left to you. And someone says, hey, I wasn't able to give you your gift to you, so I left it at your house, or I mailed it to you. And you go, okay, I'll open it. Do you just let that gift sit in the house and not open it? Not even see what it could have been? I mean, at that point, I feel like what some people are doing. It's like, oh, I always wanted to draw, but I never did. Why? You have a Netflix account and you spend time on there, which there's also, that's good to have that type of time to watch movies and TV shows. But how are you not going to acknowledge the gift that you think you have? Oh, I'm not a football player. I don't play organized football. Too young. I mean, I don't want to get hurt. That's what I said in organized football. And I'm not trying to be that guy. Well, back in my day, that's not the point I'm trying to get at here. But I'm trying to say, when I first joined football, I used to always play in the backyard with my cousins, and I always be like, oh, I should play. And then I played, and it was good, and I learned a lot of things about myself. It didn't mean I had to go pro. I don't got to be the best weaver on the res to be a weaver. I don't have to have the best art in the world to practice art. I don't have to, be the best beater to bead. And that's what I used to think had to happen. And there's nothing wrong with being the best beater. Like, once you hit that epsilon or upper epsilon or whatever you call it, you got to remember to keep that fight in you. And but other than that, man, I've been doing okay. I've been hanging in there. I think this week has been a lot more about myself and learning more about myself. I'm still learning every day. You're going to learn about yourself every single day. And the reason I brought this format of this podcast in today is, sweat lodges are something that I think gets brought up to me a lot. Not necessarily like all the time, but like, people will say, hey, have you gone to a sweat? Oh, we should go to a sweat. Like, those are the conversations I'm talking about. And you always run into that person who is just out of a sweat. And they always want to brag about going. And that's good. I want to say that's good if you went to a sweat. Hey, good for you. I always put my hand up to them. Hey, good job. In my head. I don't put my hand down, hands up. Good for you, man. Yes, the rocks. Like, I don't do that, but I give you the credit where the credit's due. Because it's hard to squeeze in time for that kind of stuff. And people, that's how, people would probably take offense to what I just said. But it is. It really is. Say you're at a place that you're not sure of. You don't know anybody around. You don't know a sweat lodge nearby. And you're at a new job, and it's hard to find that. So, yes, you take offense to that if you want. People racing to get offended nowadays. People trying to find something. Because you know why? Because it's easier to be upset and cancel somebody than it is to actually listen to them fully. A lot of people. So if I made a controversial take right now, say I made a really mean take about something in native country, You know, just really lit under everybody's skin, talked about something really personal about everybody, and posted it on this podcast, long form wise, but didn't make it a clip. How many people are going to find that clip within this long podcast, record it, edit it, and post it? Hardly any. But if I were to make that very clip, you know, a clip of the long form video and post it online to a 30-second thing, people would jump all over it. You know why? Because it's easily accessible to get shared and to get recognition. So all I'm saying is people are going to find a way regardless. And there can be dedicated haters who would go to the long form video and would edit it themselves and would post it themselves. But a lot of people want you to do the work for them. A lot of people want you to cancel yourself. You know? They want to say, hey, I'm going to share this and I'm going to comment. Because that's the easiest thing you could do. You know, they're not going to spend 15 more minutes of their life to listen to the full thing. So they're judging you off 30 seconds of your life, and you could look at that as something else. They're judging you off of one conversation they had with their auntie who doesn't like your auntie from 55 years ago. That's how far back some of this goes. And I'm saying in the name country, but I'm also sure this happens in other parts of the country as well, or the world. Well, I don't get along with them. I don't like their dad. Yeah, 30 years ago, I was out in the convenience store. He worked in there, and, you know, he charged me full price for the Gatorade, and I haven't talked to him since. That's how long some of the beef goes in native country. Yeah, I bought a blanket from him, so we have a king-size bed at home, and he gave us the twin size for the king size, you know, charged us the full same amount, but gave us the twin size blanket. So I don't go back there no more. I don't talk to him, his family, or nothing. You know, yeah. One time, we were at a powwow, and I was buying these beaded earrings for my wife. And this guy charged us $120. I mean, we bought them. But don't you think that's a little expensive? We don't talk to him no more. That's how really this beef will start. Something outrageous. Oh, yeah. I remember your uncle. Yeah, he was supposed to bring me to the tournament in Oklahoma, and he left me back behind. Yeah, said I needed gas money. So I don't talk to your uncle no more. You know, team's full. That's how people act, man. Oh my God, it's like goes so far back, and you know, some people be like, "Say what you mean. Say who you want to say." No, that's not what this is for. I don't use a platform to put those specific people down. And that's what I've heard that before. I've heard that, and I could say who said that to me on here too. But I'm not. I'm a respectful person, and I don't believe in that. But I just think it's crazy how far back hatred goes. And I get it. Hatred's a strong thing, man. It really is. No one wants to have hate. They really don't. Even the people who are bitter know deep down they don't want to hold on to that. But they do. They do. Yeah, your uncle went out to go shrimping for me. He brought me a bucket back. And he brought back, and half of them were dead. So I don't go over there for holidays no more because we were all looking forward to the shrimp, and, you know, half of them were dead. So only half of it, you know, we had half of them out to eat. When that uncle could have went and actually got his own shrimp with him, complaining about the shrimp he was given. These are just hypothetical things. I know when people get shrimp, they're really good about sharing and that kind of stuff. But still, that's how it is. Yeah, we were supposed to go clamming at 4 a.m. to catch the tide, and you know, they didn't hit me up to go clamming. You know, I don't know if I could talk to them no more. It's just, I look forward all season to go clam digging. Got a new bucket, got a new clam shovel and everything. And they just went without me. You know, it's never about uncle. It's never about uncle. That's what the uncle would say. So now we're talking about something else. Now I always see giveaways. I always see giveaways on Facebook. Giveaways are something people do to, kind of fundraise, or they're just doing a giveaway. And this is my honest question. My honest question to people who do giveaways. Like, honestly, is it smarter to just pick the person who is going to promote your page, or give it to somebody just truly random? Because I've really thought about this before. Like, I really, really thought about it. And when you do a giveaway, you have chances to give somebody your work, and they're going to share it with others. And there's certain people on there who probably wouldn't even share it. They'd probably be like, oh, thanks, and then wouldn't even say anything. So is it smarter as the person who makes the gift or the art to pick somebody who they know is going to share it? Not necessarily the most famous person or the most coolest person, but I think as a person, if I were making earrings, wouldn't I want to give them to the person who's going to share them the most for a business sake? Or do I just give them to who really wants them, or who's really been like, oh, yes, I really need it? I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I hope you guys kind of see what I'm saying, because I feel like in giveaways, it is very important to give it to the right person. But that right person may be the person who looks the best in them, shares them the most, talks about them the most. There's a lot of elements that can go into who deserves it the most, or who do you think is the right one for it. So that's for all my people out there who do giveaways. Is it smarter to give it to the person who shares it, the prettiest looking, the most followed, the most loyal to your business? There's like a weird element of this. It's like, well, yeah, I took part in that Facebook thing and they didn't pick me, so I don't buy their earrings anymore. That's how some things, you may lose some customers because they didn't win a giveaway. I've seen people enter giveaways constantly and never win, but they're loyal, and that's good. We want people who are loyal, that's for sure. But Battle of the Nations actually just went down in Spokane, and I believe Turtle Mountain won, so congratulations to them and all the people who went to Battle of the Nations. I heard it was a cool tournament, and a lot of people had a lot of great time. Had a lot of great times, I should say. That's more grammatically correct. But I got to say something. There's a lot of people who go to native tournaments and they win prizes. They win Letterman jackets. They win sweatshirts, crew necks, T-shirts. I've seen people get bags sometimes, bags, or however you want to pronounce bags. But I want to say there's always an unsung hero of the native team, of the native basketball team. You have the best player, who's up getting the most points, most rebounds, most steals, most hard, you have the dedicated defender guy, the loyal guy, the driver, the DD, all these people, you were thinking, and also the uncle who funded it, the auntie who funded it. You have all these elements of a native basketball tournament. And then you dial into the team, the coach, the best players, everything. But I think it's time we start recognizing the people for these native tournaments. Some people will say, who is he going to say? Is it the people who organize the tournament? Is it the cooks at the tournaments? Is it the free parking at the events? Is it the advertising? No, it's not. No, none of all those people are very, very cherished in native tournaments. But I think the people who are slept on at native tournaments and that do deserve a jacket with the team are the people who go live. I'm gonna say it. There's people there. The team is obviously deserving of the jackets. They deserve them. But I think the person who everybody's watching their live, I think they deserve some credit. Maybe a sweatshirt, T-shirt, something. Because at this point, if you're going Facebook Live, you have a potential to have 50 plus viewers on a game. And that's pretty big for some people's Facebooks. You want to make it big in native country, go and stream everybody's game on Facebook, and you'll start becoming a household name. I'm telling you right now. Oh yeah, man, my Facebook page is struggling. I'm not getting very many views anymore. I got an idea for you. How about you go to every native tournament and stream it on Facebook and call it Facebook Live Tournaments. I'm sure you'll get some views. People, oh, no one wants to talk about it. That's what it is right there. But it's time to start giving the people who go live on native tournaments, softball tournaments, whoever's live on their phone, being a true Facebook warrior, I think it's time to honor them. It's time. And I've gone live a couple times for people on my phone, and it's not for the weak, man. Going Facebook live at an event, it's not for the weak. Not the weak batteries. It's not for the weak people, because there's people who are dedicated to holding that and sharing and talking to the guy next to them. And if you're one of them and you fill in the blanks, hey, good job. I got to give a shout out to my Auntie Jenny. I know I could say Auntie Jenny on here, and she was live for the Tulalip games, and I was watching. And so was Alan. Got to give Alan a shout, too, because he was out Facebook Live-ing, too. So I was watching both those for Battle of the Nations. So if you're a person who goes live for native basketball tournaments, I think you deserve a jacket, too. That's just, we could talk to the person who organized the event. I think the winning team's person who went live deserves a jacket, too. You could call me selfish. You could call me whatever you want to call me, but I think it's true. Or you could even say the driver who didn't necessarily play. And I think that's on the team to make that decision. Like say there's a team of 7 and they had 10 jackets and they have 3 extras. Those 3 extras I think should go to the person who either funded the team, the driver, or the person who went Facebook Live. Those are the 3 people who should get extra jackets if there is any. But I was listening to a lot of people talk and stuff, and I heard somebody in a background say, oh, the 3 Musketeers, man. I think if you say 3 Musketeers, I feel like that's a different age group. Because my age group says Big 3. Oh, there's the Big 3. And then the one before me, I think, says the 3 Musketeers. I don't know where that line is, but I feel like if you say 3 Musketeers, you're older than me. If you're younger than me, I don't know what you say. Maybe, what's up, brother? That's probably what I hear if you're younger than me, or if you're my age. I got to say, we made the right person famous, man. Sketch, man. He's a cool guy. Never met the guy. I should invite him on the pod. Yeah, Sketch is a funny guy, man. What's up, brother? It's taken over, man. And if you don't know who Sketch is, check him out. Also, big shout out to Stella Sweets. If you're in Tulalip or Marysville, check it out. They got all the sweets. They got the energy there, too. A lot of people there handing out ice cream. And you know what they say to people who hand out ice cream? It's coming back to you. So if you want to go be a part of a great thing that they have going on in Tulalip right now, Stella Sweets. I got a sticker on the back of my phone. Stella Sweets, man. Shout out to them. They got everything you need there. You got a sweet tooth, you got a craving or something, and you like being around nice candy, sugary things. It's open for all ages. You can be 5 years old, go get yourself an ice cream cone, or you can be 95 years old and go get yourself an ice cream cone. Go check it out, Stella Sweets. I'll tag them below. Yeah, just tell them I sent you. Chances are the people who are listening already have been there and already know this. So, but I gotta be a good cousin and say that. That's just my thing. What else is going on? Let's see. Talked about general motions. We talked about general counsel last time, and maybe I should leave that in the past. But I think we're getting to the point now, and I'll say this to be honest with you guys, because I'm Tulalip, and I think I have a right to say this as a Tulalip. These motions we have are good. I think the motions of people making positivity for changes for the next generation is good. But I feel like we're getting a little out of hand sometimes. I feel like we're a couple people away from saying we need a Tulalip emoji. And I don't know if I stand by that one. I think I'm getting older now. If we were to start saying some out of hand ones, I'm going to say, we don't need that. We're always about change. Native country, tribes, villages. Everybody always saying, oh, we need this, we need that. There's some things we don't need. And in passing, I heard we need a Tulalip emoji. And I don't even think the person was Tulalip. I was at the resort casino. I was sitting there watching the sports bet or whatever. And some guy's like, they need a Tulalip emoji. And I think the guy was older, and I don't think he understand the difference between filter and emoji. But you say that in a room full of Tulalips, someone's going to take that home, and it's actually going to be something. So I'm going to put an end to it right now. We do not need a Tulalip emoji. There's already an orca whale. We don't need any more. We don't need a specific... I mean, that would be pretty crazy, though. You see? You see where it gets you. It bites you a little bit. So you see that? It's not a bad idea. Be the first tribe to do it. What's up with all the tribes' fascination? Every tribe in the whole country, fascination about being the first one to do it. Oh, yeah. Tulalip, they got an emoji. They're the first ones to do it. What? Yeah, we need to be on that next time. Next time, we need to make sure we get an emoji before them. That's how it is. Competitiveness, man. We're always just trying to be the first at something. Oh, yeah, they were the first ones to also do that, too. Man, we need to do that next year, and we need to be the first ones to do it. That's how people act, man. And I don't... I just think that's how it is. And I'm speaking it from the heart, speaking it from my soul here. And I hope everyone's going good, man. And I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to be in a good mood. I want to say I might be a week and a half till next episode, so I'm just going to say that out front. But yeah, I'll be working on, I think Tulalip's got me working on the emoji. I'll be swamped this next week. But no, for real, I'll see you guys next week. And yeah, maybe an emoji would be the right thing to do. All right, guys. Hoi.